Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast, Street Savvy. I'm your host, Jay Works, as you know, with the most. And we got a great show for you tonight and a great topic. The topic is the migrants here that's causing trouble, or they're just full of it? They want to destroy the American dream. So we're going to get to it, folks. Yes, we're going to get to it. As you see, I have one of the vintage PD Code sweatsuits on. PD Code sportswear. Got the PD Code on the sleeve, as you see. Yes, it's a whole sweatsuit, ladies and gentlemen. If you know it or not, PD Code is really apparel, a clothing line that we bought together several years ago. And we just want everybody in America, everybody in the world to wear it, to see what we wear and to feel free and to feel like it's something of yours. So please go out there and buy it at pdcodeclothingapparel.com. That's the website. And Shopify.com, PD Code, Clothing and Apparel. And if you see me anywhere, well, if you're on one of my platforms, IG, Twitter, definitely Snapchat, or who else? Facebook. Take a look at it. We got it out there. It's out there. Definitely on IG. Yeah, folks. It's good to see you guys again. So let's get started, folks. Story of the day. All-Star game this weekend, All-Star weekend, was Lovely Fest over to Indiana. And Damian Lillard took the show. Damian Lillard of Milwaukee Bucks. Dame time. The young fella put a Dame time on. He put a show in for the three-point contest. He won that as well. And he won the NBA All-Star, the most valuable player. Now, between all those valuable stars out there, my guy in Boston, Jason Tatum, and Mr. Brown, LeBron James, and his partner in crime over there, LA, it's the center for the team, played in it. A lot of the great players, almost among 50 greatest players in the league today, was out there performing. Luka, the Joker was out there. It was a great performance in All-Star game, as well as for the three-point contest, WNBA star. We didn't get her name, and I apologize for that, folks. She was pushing the men to the limit, you know. And she said that's a great thing for younger girls to see, that you can also beat the boys, play with the boys, play against the boys. Yeah, and also be a challenge in yourself. Have people following you in your own right when you want to play sports. And she said that was definitely, that was definitely a good thing for WNBA sports, college, collegiate, and high school level for girls. Definitely go out there and try to beat the boys or beat the boys. That's something she's always been doing in her career. So great weekend for Damian Lillard of Milwaukee Bucks. Three-point contest and well as NBA All-Star Game MVP. Great for you, Damian. Okay, in other news, I tell you, folks, these migrants, they are really hitting a toll out here in America. They're hitting a toll in America. Actually, we're gonna skip that and come to them in definitely in the topic of the day. So we're gonna do something different. Talk about something different. The YSL RICO charge on Mr. Slime, Big Slime himself, Young Thugger Jeffrey Williams. It's this trial has been horrendous. It had a delay in the trial in mid-January. It's outdated. The judge done got sick in the trial. Two jurors, three or four jurors done been reassigned. They don't want to do it no more. A couple of them been sick. It's just too much. It's too much of American taxpaying dollars, people in Atlanta taxpaying dollars to have this young fella and these other guys like and allegedly young Thugger didn't know half of the guys they indicted with him into this RICO case. Half of the guys they know young Thugger, they knew of him, but not was involved in the things he was doing or they allegedly saying they was doing down there in Atlanta. And folks, from my knowledge and the things of knowing of history of the RICO law, there's a hell of a lot of charges. At one point, it looked like they was charging young Thugger with almost 65 charges, allegedly. And the RICO ranges from selling drugs undercover, murdering conspiracy, attempted murder, threats to a federal witness, you name it, selling drugs in a large quantity amounts, organized crime, organizing a gang to do organized crime. A lot of these charges, allegedly, they saying young Thugger was the boss. He was a man. They ain't saying the good part, allegedly, that what people are saying he was doing down in Atlanta. So I'm here to tell you, folks, I'm eager to see the outcome. I'm hoping this young brother is not the guy they painting the picture on. I'm hoping God can redeem him from what's wrong or what's right. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm not on his side. But right now, I was looking at his trial. It's not looking too bright for the prosecution. Even for the defendant, it's in the middle to me. In my opinion, I've been watching the trial. Actually, I'm watching the trial here as we speak. Folks, our American dollar is being toyed with. In other news, with the Atlanta, Georgia head district attorney is is in a fight for her job. Look like in the Trump case, they got her on a separate investigation of her allegedly having marital affairs with some other person, spending taxpaying dollars on trips, on condominiums, and other things like that. This young lady wasn't having it. If you look it up on YouTube, you should see it. She's not having it. She was on stand saying, listen, this lawyer was trying to cross-examine her, and Lord, she was using her wits. She said, listen, I'm not on trial. The people that's on trial is who you representing, which is Donald Trump, for trying to run collusion through a public election. That's who's on trial. I'm not on trial here. Let's make that a fact. So she is running through them, and that's how that's going there. So, folks, it's been a lot of interesting news going around in America. And again, the COVID-19 has got another strand, they say, allegedly. Folks, listen, do yourself a favor. Please wear a mask if you're going outdoors. If you're in a public place, please wash your hands through and throughout the day. Make sure when you cough, you put your hand or your elbow or over your face. Make sure your children doing it, and make sure you're wiping down your car stools, your car steering wheel, your doors, your seats. Just do the norm you would do in a season filled with flu and upper respiratory infections. So, folks, please just wear a mask when you're in public places. And don't cough on no one. And try to use your hands less for things, and make sure you wash your hands daily. And that's my story today. Let's get down to the topic. Topic of the day, folks. Are the migrants just totally losing their mind, or they're just being ignorant? Let me tell you something, folks. These migrants in the United States today, since then and every month, a number of migrants encounters at the U.S. Mexican border has surpassed 200,000 on 10 spare opportunist times through the whole process, trying to get over, trying to be American citizen or trying to be a legal alien, however you want to have it. These numbers has reached since March of 2000, 220,000 count and counting. And it's not clear whether that recent high numbers of encounters of the border will project in the year 2024, which you already hear. In January, encounters fell to around 124,000 counting. And this is public records, at least available. It's just crazy on the border of Mexico alone. You know what? And additional, a lot of these migrants, folks, have been taken into custody for crimes. And they're temporarily waiting a decision whether to remain in custody, in the county custody, or be a legal alien to be sent back to where they came from. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not even stuck in the middle no more, because from my knowledge, allegedly, it is folks who want to come over and live the American way, live the American dream, as they would say. It is folks who want to come over and live in peace, and not having to live in fear or in fear of things that's happening in their country, or not even their village or their town, and not looking for refuge when they come here. And you got some that want to wreak havoc on the American way, hate America, and folks, and that's wrong. And we're not saying the American government is good by any standards, but hey, the American people got nothing to do with what the American government is doing. The American government is doing. And that's a fact. American people does not have nothing to do with the American government has done to people and what people allegedly the American government has done to them. We don't have no type of involvement. We're just paying our taxpaying dollars, and they're getting spent on people who's not even from here. And actually, it's over at least 4 to 5 million people. Well, children. There's about 20 million homeless people in America. 4 to 5 million homeless children in America. So how can we take on immigrants, about hundreds of thousands weekly, and we can't even clean up our own backyard, helping our own homeless children and adults, men and women, on our big public streets? Atlanta, LA, New York, Boston, Detroit, Chicago, Texas, Arizona, Missouri, Kansas City, you name it, Detroit. I mean, you go up and down the coast, folks. The homeless numbers is in the stratosphere in this country. We can't even take care of our own, but we bring and welcome people in. And some of these people got a lot of intentions, got bad intentions, allegedly. It's just crazy. You know, and listen again, right now, I just heard a story in this past several days, this past week, that the New York mayor, and I don't say the guy name, period. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I'm not here to knock any brother or sister, African American, Puerto Rican, brown, or whatever you call it, about their job that they're doing for the state, the public, or the city. But allegedly, they have opened up a luxury building that was built several years ago, brand new, nice estate, nice building, for people that's from the city of New York, from the state of New York, shelters, room and board for people who can't afford it, people who don't have it in New York. Allegedly. I see it on the news. I seen a press conference of the New York City citizens pressing the mayor, having their own press conference. The mayor showed up and said, "Hey, it was surprised." They said, "Well, we need better dialogue and things like that nature." So hey, that's what's going on in New York. We need a lot of that going on. I seen something just this morning. Migrants from Africa, Sudan, Congo, allegedly, all on the Mexican border, thousands of them. Brothers and sisters darker than me and you, twice. Nice book bags, nice jackets. How in hell migrants got better clothes than me and you and sneakers? You tell me, America. You tell me where we going wrong with this. And I'm not here to play the blame game, folks. But what's happening, these migrants is out of line. They out of line. And the United States government need to stick together and steadfast and get the ones who don't belong here, the ones who want to cause wreak havoc and cause bad and bodily harm to the way we live our American life, to harm our cops in every which way of fashion, to steal, to brutalize these American neighborhoods, because our governments want to put them in our neighborhoods, our working class neighborhoods. These people don't have shots. We don't know their background. We don't know if they got a disease, they spread. We don't know nothing about these migrants. And they're not getting they're getting the proper adequate. They are better. Let me change that. Strike that. Allegedly, they're getting the better adequate proper medical, health care, you name, more than us, better than us. But until they get it, America, we don't know what's going on. We got to get it together, America. And as people, we can't count on the government. We can't count on the government to have a bipartisan decision on this vote on our livelihood right now. And I repeat myself, we can't wait on the government to have this bipartisan decision on our livelihood. We got to take it in our own hands, folks. And I don't mean by violence. Again, allegedly, I don't mean by violence. I mean by voting the right people in, and not just by color. People are going to speak your language and stand up for you on every level, state, local, and city levels. And that means from city council, men and women of the assembly, mayors, and the government. You guys got to be steadfast on protesting and voting. Two things: steadfast in voting and protesting. Because we cannot let the government, on a bipartisan way, dictate what they're going to do with this bill for the migrants or the laws for these migrants. We can't. Because it was us there, lock us up or give us a bill or give us a curfew, period. And allegedly, none of those kids they caught will get more time than me or you. Allegedly. And we all know that. And that's a fact. They got to show me. They got to show me. And I know I got some I know some politicians. I know a lot of politicians actually don't approve none of this what's going on in D.C. or in these cities and states and towns. Don't approve of it. They're not with it. They're against it all the way. I was just looking at something on Facebook, and it was on on the timeline of mine. It's not every time. It was just on something that's scrolling through. At Boston's Logan Airport, folks, airport that I known so frequently, that I went to high school not even minutes away from, that I have flown in and fly out and start. One of the first major jobs I ever had was at Logan Airport. Migrants are sleeping in the halls of the airport or the terminals. I repeat, migrants are sleeping in the terminals of Logan Airport in Boston, Massachusetts. So on the post, me being very biased and naive, I said, this gotta be a joke. They gotta be capping. And one of my longtime family members said, nah, cuz that's not no capping. You ain't been here. That's for real. And I was just in Logan in October. I was just in Logan Airport and I did a video there. I did not see anything of that nature. Maybe I wasn't on the side of that airport. I was at Terminal B, Terminal A, out of Delta. I did not see that. But to my knowledge, the regulations, and to other folks, it's not allegedly, it's true, it's fact. Listen, United States government, it seems like are putting these migrants whatever way they could. Whoever's passing the buck, they don't get the migrants there. And that's Americans paying top dollar. Cash money. Tax-paying dollars. Americans. Allegedly. Now we all worry about the top story and worry about the Diddy's and the Shay Shays of the world and the Cat Williams. This is the top leading story in the United States of America. Allegedly, a World War III is brewing. Allegedly, Donald J. Trump has got to pay $500 million, close to $500 million back in penalties and fines for false information on loans, on falsifying documents of his businesses. In allegedly 3 years, he cannot have a business running or manufactured in the state of New York City, period. But this story here tops more than that. Letitia James, yes, State Attorney General of New York State, please, my sister, hop on this with this migrant shit. Hop on it. I mean, you go steadfast on Donald J. Trump. You came out here for a few drug raids. Housing is serious. Come stud fast on this high rent that we can't pay for, that these landlords are really controlling. There's no rent control here in New York State or around the country. I seen a man in a clip on Facebook somewhere in Massachusetts where they are hailing migrants. He said, man, I work 2 jobs and I can't stay in this building. You got migrants here? I'm homeless. He was on a bike and the cop said, man, I know. All the officer can do to this guy, he says, man, I know. I understand. But folks, hear me out. Is it our problem, or is the United States government problem that we in this bind? That we in this atrocity of a mess with helping folks who don't really give a care? With helping folks who want to destroy our democracy. Allegedly. Because I know we all can agree, it's some migrants really need the help from us American people. But we all can agree too, is a lot of Americans, it's millions of Americans that's homeless on our own soil, can't get the help that the migrants are getting in these big major cities, in these small towns, in these states here, in these United States. The home of the brave, the land of the free, and the home of the slaves. Period. Folks, it's ridiculous what's going on. These migrants are going crazy. And I'm talking with criminal records, criminal activities. I just seen a huge post with an American attorney, state attorney, says they have foiled migrant syndicate, gang-related, encrypted messages, timely robberies, you name it. Said it was a gang. Migrants in a gang? Yeah, America. That's what's going on. I don't think we need to put migrants on top of those names, quote unquote. I think you need to call a spade like we call a spade. These motherfuckers are here to harm us. They feel like we owe them something. If we cause ruckus in any American city or state, any American, especially me, and I'm brown, or my black behind is up under a jail, or your white behind is in jail too, or you're Puerto Rican, any American citizen, Chinese, you name it, Jamaican, Jewish, Protestant, you name it. Any American citizen will be treated a different way if we cause the ruckus that the migrants are causing right now today in your city and state. And that's a fact, folks. That's a natural fact. Now, folks, how you create a dialogue, vote for the right person who's speaking your language, steadfast for what you want done and how you want to be treated in your city and state, your local city and state leaders. I'm Jay Works, and this is Street Savvy, the podcast. Do not get pushed out by any migrant or any government. This is your city. This is your home. You fought for it. You died. You slid. You whatever. Your parents, your grandparents died believing in the American way, or bullcrap, or not. You was born here. Fight for what you believe in. And how you fight? For your American tax dollars? Vote the right city and state leader in today, and that means now. And keep protesting and keep finding out ways to do it. God bless you, America. I'm Jay Works, and this Street Savvy, the podcast. Have a good night, America, and stay free and stay sucker free.